USPAP 7-hour national update course 2022 through 2023, Chapter 3, Violations of USPAP, and using the USPAP publication, Page 1, Chapter Overview. Learning objectives for Chapter 3. Upon completion of this chapter, participants will be able to identify the voluntary disciplinary action matrix, recognize aggravating and mitigating circumstances, identify components of the USPAP publication, describe the role of advisory opinions, A and O's, and frequently asked questions. FAQs, end of page. Page 2, violations of USPAP. While only an enforcement agency, such as state regulatory board, can conclude if a violation of USPAP has occurred, it can be useful to understand conceptually what is meant when an appraiser violates USPAP. And before you can understand how to solve USPAP questions, learning what this concept means is helpful. End of page. Page 3, questions to consider. Think about the times when a reviewer or even a colleague in conversation alleged an appraiser has made a USPAP violation. Things that one may need to consider are as follows. What does it mean to violate USPAP? Are some violations more innocuous than others? Are there minor USPAP violations? And if so, must they even be cited? Do you need to violate a major development standard to have a serious issue? Are reporting violations less damaging to a conclusion than development violations? Is an ethics rule violation more damaging than, say, a record-keeping rule violation? Are all violations equally damaging to a conclusion? End of page.
One resource that you can use is the Appraisal Foundation's Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix. The Appraisal Foundation created the first Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix for the 2010-2011 USPAP and has updated the matrix with each subsequent edition. The Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix is not part of the USPAP publication. It is a separate document. There is a version of the Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix that directly corresponds to each edition of USPAP that has been released since 2010. While the VDAM is mainly a resource for state regulators and is applicable only to real property appraisers, it is nevertheless valuable reference material for appraisers of all disciplines. As the name indicates, use of the matrix is voluntary, not mandatory. States may choose to use the matrix to help provide consistency in the sanctions they are meting out to violators, but they are not required to use it. A copy of the Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix is available on the Appraisal Foundation website at appraisalfoundation.org. From the Resources tab, click on State Regulators, then scroll down to Disciplinary Action Matrix.
Chapter 3, violations of USPAP and using the USPAP publication. Page 4, voluntary disciplinary action matrix. To learn what it may mean to violate USPAP, one resource that you can use is the Appraisal Foundation's Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix. The Appraisal Foundation created the first Voluntary Disciplinary Action Matrix, VDAM, for the 2010 through 2011 USPAP and has updated the matrix with each subsequent edition. The VDAM is not part of the USPAP publication. It is a separate document. There is a version of the VDAM that directly corresponds to each edition of USPAP that has been released since 2010. While the VDAM is mainly a resource for state regulators and is applicable only to real property appraisers, it is nevertheless valuable reference material for appraisers of all disciplines. As the name indicates, use of the VDAM is voluntary, not mandatory. States may choose to use the VDAM to help provide consistency in the sanctions that are meting out to violators, but they are not required to use it. A copy of the VDAM is available on the Appraisal Foundation website at appraisalfoundation.org. From the Resources tab, click the State Regulators, then scroll down to Disciplinary Action Matrix. You may also download the document by clicking here. Page 5, levels of sanction. The VDAM has identified 5 levels of sanctions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With level 5 being the most serious. The matrix also includes a sliding scale that is based on whether the offense is an appraiser's first, second, or third offense. For example, page 1 of the 2020 through 2022 matrix states, testifying as an expert without proper experience might be a violation of the ethics rule for a first-time offender. This could be considered a level 2 offense. And for a third-time offender, this could be considered a level 4 offense. End of page. Page 6, examples from the matrix. Using the VDAM, we will take a few of the examples to demonstrate what it means to violate USPAP and how that violation can be anywhere from insignificant to extremely serious. Table 2, examples of several USPAP violations as illustrated in the VDAM. Example, an appraiser used a large portion of another appraiser's report without permission. Violation of ethics rule. Conduct. Communicating assignment results with the intent to mislead or defraud. Possible type of violation, very serious. Example, an appraiser provided an opinion of the leasehold interest in a property when the bundle of rights being appraised was the leased fee interest. Standards Rule 1-1B, committing a substantial error of omission or commission that significantly affects an appraisal. Possible type of violation, serious. Example, the appraiser prepared an appraisal report stating only another appraiser assisted with preparation of this report. Violation, Standards Rule 2-2A, Roman numeral 9. In an appraisal report, failure to summarize the extent of any significant appraisal assistance. Level, possible type of violation, minor. Example, an appraiser sent a text message to the client notifying them of the final value conclusion. No other information was included in the text message. Violation of Standard Rule 2-2, failure to comply with reporting requirement. Possible type of violation, serious. This is never an absolute because the seriousness of the violation will depend on the full details of the specific case. This is used for illustrative purposes only. End of page.